At the moment we are preparing for the next academic year, 2020-2021. And of course behind the scenes a lot of effort is already being taken. So for instance I'm discussing heavily with the Ministry of Education, with the public transport people, with the other universities to ensure that not just here in Wageningen but in the Netherlands as a whole we have a safe 1.5 meter university. So we are, for instance, also looking at the scheduling. Not all the people can arrive at the same time at the campus. That would give too much congestion, too much risk for COVID-19. We're also looking at how we operate 1.5 meter within our campus. So that means 1.5 meter within the classroom and within, of course, the practicals. But also in the elevators, in the staircases, we are making sure that that happens. We're also looking in how can we make sure that people who are giving some of the symptoms of COVID-19 can still follow the classes. So that we have a blended situation where people who have to stay home can still continue doing their classes and following all the lectures. We are still very much preparing at the moment the coming academic year and we will use the summer to fine-tune, for instance, our scheduling. What are the starting times, what are the times of finishing. We are also looking into who are we giving priority in having lectures and practicals on campus. So we want to have all our students on campus at least 2 times a week, but we want to give a little bit more priority to first year students, both first year bachelor and first year masters, because they really need to meet their peers and build a cohort. We're also rebuilding a little bit the lecture halls and the practicals especially to make sure that they are ready for a 1.5 meter university and also to fit more people in. What we are also still looking at is the possibilities for excursions, for instance. Can we have excursions in the Netherlands and under what kind of conditions, and can we also have them in Europe? We would very much like to have that, but we are still preparing for that. And finally, of course, we are also looking in the possibilities for thesis work and internships outside of the Netherlands. At the moment it's very well possible inside the Netherlands, but we would also like to have that also in other European countries, and we think that's possible, but we are detailing the procedures for that. So that's more or less what's happening now at the moment during summer in preparing for the next academic year. I know that some of you ask, are all these measures we take here at Wageningen University and Research really necessary? Well, I have to assure you they are. They are really necessary to build a safe environment for education and research. We have to keep 1.5 meter distance. We have to follow the hygienic measures which are put forward by the RIVM and by the government. We don't want to have a major outbreak at our campus. So please help us in following all these rules. Although they might be very difficult to follow, we have to follow them really. Thanks very much for your cooperation in doing that. Of course, there's a lot of discussion on wearing facial masks in the Netherlands, but also outside of the Netherlands. On our campus, you are not obliged to wear facial masks. Of course, you can if you feel more certain to do that, but even if you wear those facial masks, you still have to follow the other rules. So keep 1.5 meter distance and follow all the hygienic measures. And then we can keep our campus completely safe. As you might have heard, we give some priority to first year students. And that means first year bachelor students as well as first year master students. We want those students to build also a cohort, to meet their peers and to get to know the other students. That is different for all the other students. They have already been here for a longer time on campus and have already met their peers. The priority does not mean that all the other students do not meet on campus. Every student will be at least 2 times a week on campus, following classes, small working groups or practicals. So in that sense we build a real, complete, blended education systems where all students come on campus as well as follow courses online. This is the first in a series of videos in which we explain how we prepare ourselves for the academic year. Stay tuned for more information.